pitchers can live on. Here's Allie Clements. Singled her first time up.
That's the pitch that's really helped set everything else up. She's thrown that off speed effectively, right in that zone of 58, 59 miles an hour. Not quite a changeup, but just enough off speed to differentiate that velocity.
The coach is going old school there with the hand signals. The technology is still a work in progress. One of the new things you'll see around college softball, they have digital signaling devices only to call in the pitchers, and also if you want to use it situationally for your defense. Just like they have, you know, in baseball now. So we may see the armbands go away in lieu of the watches at some point. Clements is 2 for 2, and here comes Kennedy.
Look at her go down and get this pitch. I mean, this is kind of what is left. You think about the off-speed down. Clemens just literally 3/4 swing, throws her barrel underneath this pitch to be able to poke it out to right field.
Yeah, that's a 1-2 pitch. I think it was supposed to be off the plate a little bit more. That's really good adjustment, barreling that ball up.
Stanford. Let's see, they got a pinch runner now over at first base. Looks like Ellie Eck has entered the game to pinch run. Clements can re-enter. And for the second time today, Ashton Danley is up. Who's that behind her?
McKenna.
It's McKenna Reed limbering up.
A couple of lefties. This is a very lefty-heavy Stanford lineup. 7 of the 9 starters were lefties.
Kennedy comes up for the second time today with a runner on base. Grounded out back in the second. Smitty, what did you like about hitting when in games you were pitching?
Oh, I'm glad you asked me that question.
That's an assist. Owens.
Boom. You know what? For me, it just took the pressure off. There's so much pressure being in that circle. It was fun. It was the challenge of hitting, helping yourself out. You're working with your teammates to score runs. I loved it. Hitting was my fave.
Can you pitchers get lost in your own head sometimes if that's all you're doing? That's the sense I get right now.
Possibly. You know how it can be. You know how it can be. Yes, yes. You know, and you have to be able to differentiate. When you're on offense, you're on offense. When you're pitching, you got to be on defense and not let that at bat, maybe the last inning, affect you when you're in the circle.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch Kennedy pitching to Kaneshiro on one of the great batteries in college softball all season long. 2-2 right now for Royalty. Struck her out. Second of the inning, 2 down.
You're going to see that Nyjah Kennedy is off the plate, and because of that, they recognize to get her out, you got to get inside. They did it twice, both looking, and this perfectly located pitch up and in. You see just that checkpoint, unable to even get the swing off.
For Allison Royalty on the season, a lot of screwballs, likes the changeup, rise 19% of the time.
I love that changeup use is so high. She blends it so well. She hides it so well.
And all 3 strikeout pitches have been that hand side movement, arm side movement. River Mailer hit into a fielder's choice last inning.
see how aggressive Stanford showing early in the season. A lot of stolen bases, a lot of stolen base attempts. The pinch runner at first base, trying to get her in scoring position.
We will chat with Lonnie Almeida, the Florida State head coach, next half inning. We'll hear from Stanford after that. All part of our coverage on the road to the Women's College World Series. We're at the on-ramp in this second weekend of the regular season.
It's a nice hold by Miller on that outside pitch. Sitting in that 9-hole, trying to roll things over, get Kern up with runners in scoring position.
Took a little off that. Great crowds again here in Clearwater for the 5th year of this tournament. Florida State's been here every year. They're 15-7 here with 11 wins over ranked opponents. And they have been a regular on our featured Sunday night broadcast, which they will be again against Tennessee. Kiki Malloy and company. Another team that was at the World Series last year. Base hit, another one the opposite way. Runners on the corners for Stanford.
How about River Miller, the way that she's going to battle in this at-bat? This is that screwball in the outer half that she's had such a great eye on. And take a look at the way right here Torres is going to start moving the shortstop toward second base. It opens up a much larger 5-6 hole, and Miller just goes right through it. Stanford with the opportunity here.
What a moment for Taryn Kern to have a breakthrough hit. Runners on the corners with a couple out. She's been hit by a pitch. She's walked. And she is looking for her first big swing as a Stanford Cardinal.
If I was her, I'd sell out inside. I mean, that has been the MO against her. I know she's on the plate, but she has that front toe already kind of opened up, and that's to help clear her hips to get her hands to those inside pitches. And you can cheat a little bit, less than 2 strikes, knowing that that might be part of the game plan.
2 for 15 on the season for Taryn Kern.
She's hesitant. Well, reaction, that look on her face.
Yeah, and already 7 strikeouts this year. She only had 12 last year. Just
and that is Ellie Eck, who came on as the pinch runner and is limping off the field right now after that slide into third base, perhaps? And so they will have to get a new runner. Oh, and she is in some pain over there in the dugout now. It was a late slide and a grimace immediately from Eck. And so they will get Allison Morikawa out now to run at third base. It's the go-ahead runner over at third base, trying to break through with the first run of the day. River Mailer's over at first here. The 0-2 pitch coming to Taryn Kern. Good waste away. Go ahead and take second base. So 2 in scoring position. The Cardinals have left 6 on base through the first 3 innings. Looking for a clutch rip. First 5 games, they were not getting the clutch. Earlier today, they got some in their run rule win over Georgia Tech when they put 15 runs on the board and hit 6 homers.
That's a great take. You saw her front side.
Oh, and a sloppy throw back to the pitcher almost cost him. Full count here now to Kern. With Kaylin Koch, another one of the home run hitters from earlier, on deck.
Kern has been late on the pitches that she swung at. That's why I saw her try to trigger a little early.
Skied and out of play.
Also why I think Royalty hasn't gone to that off speed, because she's watching Kern's speed right now, and it's late. You pitch her an off speed, it might be pitching to the speed of her bat.
Jessica Allister has been preaching to her, stick to the process. It'll come to you. Still a long way to go, and a team that she says is built for the finish, which they certainly were a year ago when they went to the national semifinals. Saves 2 runs with another wet gem for the Seminole infield.
Issa Torres, the freshman, get up on the ladder. Line drive shot. She's got 2 of them in this game, and a huge inning. Help out her pitcher against Taryn Kern.
Yeah, just a fun athlete to watch. Tracks down balls in the outfield. Her bat has been explosive.
The biggest difference I see is her actually trying to pull the ball. And there she missed. She smiled. She's going against one of the best pitchers in the country. But last year, her power was left field, and now she's spreading it all over the field.
Pops out of Kanashiro's glove, and the runners will advance. 2 now in scoring position as Torres gets to third. Beecham to second.
It's not something you see happen very often. Kind of shows so steady behind the plate. That ball pops in and out.
One pitch. Lonnie, by the way, cannot get a pinch runner out at second base because they have already run once for Beecham. If they did again, they'd have to yank her.
Take. Tell Kern knows what she's hunting.
she made contact
I know.
with that. That was at her eyeballs.
Well, because she laid off the pitch prior, almost in the same spot.
Watch her top hand on this. I mean, this is all top hand.
Oh my goodness.
Get up and reach that. That is, you do not see that.
Not for shoes. She's 5 of 6, by the way, this year with a runner in scoring position. Popped up, shallow right. Runner will tag, and home plate for Torres. And Kerr gets the sac fly, 1-0 Seminoles.
Kerr just put the ball on the green. It's all she needs to do. It's an off-speed pitch. She identifies it, gets it out onto the green, and because of that, Torres runs very well from third. Good job out in right field. Cope is going to bring that ball in, but really good jump by Torres to get to the back of the dish, put the first run up on the board.
Well, how about generating a run right there? Torres started the inning with that 3-foot infield single, and then a walk, a pass ball gets her in a position for Kerr to get the fly ball to bring her home.
And I was going to say about that pass ball, that's really the one that ends up hurting you. And you know, as a battery, that's when you move up that extra 60 feet. It hurts.
Mudge, back deep, Mailer, and it's dropped at first base by Gall. 2-0 Seminoles.
This is a great play by River Mailer just to get to this and get rid of it quickly. Perfect throw to first base. This is going to go down as an error to Ava Gall, just unable to hold on to it. You see the frustration in the aftermath.
That would have ended the inning. Instead, a second run gets in, and Kaylee Harding will come up with a runner on base. Mudge is pulled. Autumn Belvi will run for her. Over at first base. Mudge can re-enter. And the breakthrough finally comes here in the bottom of the 5th for Florida State. Triggered by the bottom of their order. Aided by the error. How about that game against Charlotte? 7 RBI and a couple of home runs for Kaylee.
It is amazing what Florida State has done this inning. I mean, what probably should have been just a caught fly ball hit like 3 feet in front of home plate is the first base hit to start the inning. Walk, pass ball. And then an error. I mean, the limited strikeouts, I think that is just for players to understand. You face a great pitcher, just the ability to be able to put the ball in play, what it can do.
Swing and a miss. Belvi gets a stolen base down to second.
I think they're running on the changeup. I don't know if they've picked it or they just picked a good pitch to run on.
Yeah.
Belvi with a good jump.
Well, we see the ups and downs of freshmen early in a season, right? It was Torres and Beecham that got the inning going here for Florida State. It was Gall at first base with the error. The sophomore getting her first extensive action. Nyjah, by the way, could come up in the top of the 6th for Stanford. She's due up 4th. Harding getting a lot of looks and pitches and a lot of swings here.
Yeah, a lot of swings. Doing a good job of fouling off pitches.
is now starting to get there with both. I mean, that was an off speed.
It's off the rise ball.
I think sometimes Nigel, because she throws so hard, she can almost throw through her spin. If she almost took 2 or 3 miles an hour off of it, the ball might bite more, and she might get more or miss more barrels.
She didn't like that first pitch, no.
Thought maybe she didn't like what I said. Like, oh, heat, more heat.
She wanted the off speed.
Oh, and Belvez gonna be able to steal third and head for home. Generated run from speed on the bases for Florida State.
Jade Berry, the third baseman for Stanford, is just caught sleeping. She's a freshman. They paying a little bit. You can see the way she looks over, but then in this situation here, does not pay attention that the runner is stealing, and she almost looks like she tries to hold up. That throw obviously going to go through into left field. So a couple of freshman mistakes here for Stanford that have put some runs up on the board for Florida State.
They scored it at E2, but I think it should have been an E5.
Yeah, I agree.
And so first Kaylee Mudge reaches on an error, and then her pinch runner Belvez steals 2 bases and gets home on an error to make it 3-zip. And this is the 11th pitch of the at-bat coming for the Battle of All-Americans, Kennedy and Harding. Chop to third, it backs up Berry. And that one gets by Gall at first, and Harding safe into second base. And the defense unwinding a bit here for the Card.
This is one of the things Jessica Allister talked to us about, having a young team, the defense being the first thing that she said they are going to have to work on. You see 2 freshmen here trying to rush first on the throw, a ball that you know Ava Gall can dig out. But the game starts moving fast, especially when you get into innings like this.
And this is so Florida State, right? Chaos on the bases, using their speed, putting pressure on the defense.
Oh, that's always it. Stir them up.
Third error of the inning and a pass ball for Stanford. And here's Edenfield, 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
Frustration coming out from Nyjah too. She just hit 74 miles an hour for the first time this game, and I don't think it's a coincidence. Working her tail off to try to get outs.
Sometimes it is that elusive third out of the inning. You've got the 2, and it's so hard to find that third out at times.
One earned run of the 6 allowed so far in her season. And for the second time this year, the Card defense has 3 errors. Remember, Ali Kaneshiro, the catcher, is the only returning player in the same position for this entire defense from their World Series team a year ago. Kennedy gets a strikeout, but Florida State does the damage, 3-0.